I read another article published by York Region, and they were talking about how your first comedy gig, at 21 in Toronto, how humbled you as a person when you didn't perform your best as much as you hoped. And we've all been there through rejection in some sort of way. And as a comedian, I can only imagine. I've never been on stage. That's just a whole different animal. I wanted to know, why is it necessary for a comedian or for anyone that's pursuing their dreams, film, the arts, music, to experience these sort of challenges, that sort of rejection?
Because if you're not failing, then how are you going to grow and get better? How are you going to learn from your mistakes? You have to fail. There's no other way around it.
Mhm.
And I luckily realized that and understood that very early on. And so I was okay doing bad, even though it sucked balls. But you know what I mean? Like you have to go through it somehow. So um, when I went into comedy and when I dropped out, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what was going on. So in a way, I already had an advantage doing what I was doing, because I was like, all right, well, I mean, at some point I have to do it, right? And I have to get better. How do I get better? By just doing and seeing what works. As shitty as it was for many months, even a couple of years, even into it, it was tough. It was so tough. It was a struggle, but I was always relentless, and I never held back, and I never stopped, because I knew this was all worth it. It was going to pay off one day, and it will pay
Yeah.
off. And it is paying off, obviously.
Mhm.
But it's there's no like end goal here. It's just, this is an ongoing process. I'm always growing. You always have to be growing, because if you stop growing, then that means you're not doing enough. And there's no one's perfect as well, but also, like, there's no end. Like what's the point of stopping when you can
Yeah.
get better every time? And so that's just the mentality I have about it. And just every day, just putting that into action. So
Just chipping away, yeah, every day. And like I was explaining before, is that tenacity, the persistence. I remember a friend of mine, wanted to be a comedian so bad, and they got turned down on stage. And I said, okay, did you go
and
back? Right? No, but I'm saying, did you go back? And they're like, no, I didn't, because I realized it wasn't for me. And I said, okay, that's fair, but you can't keep talking about it, right? Because the comedians that I
yeah,
know, like Jim Carrey, that guy was like living there practically. He
yeah,
he just he just kept going and going. Yeah, they have their days too. Even Eminem, I'm a big fan of Eminem. His story, changed my life and made me kind of slapped me around and said, appreciate what you have, because if this guy can come from a trailer and make it happen, what are you doing about it, right?
that's what I'm saying.
So watching 8 Mile, and he was going through a story about how he explained, like, he would go up stage and just freeze, and then a week later he would say, I gotta go back, and
Hmm.
I respect that so much, like, that it's painful, but you got to respect the pain in order to
Hmm.
make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and I'm sure you've experienced that, where it's like, I gotta feel this.
yeah.
When you hear that Joe Rogan experience, like, that's why I love listening to him, because he gives you an insight on a comedian's world. And
Hmm.
like Bill Burr, and like talking about how people were literally going like, fuck you, get off the fucking stage. Like,
I know.
how do you even deal with that? Especially if you're like just in it to be funny, right? Like, you don't want to
Yeah.
piss anybody off. You
No,
just want to be funny. And you
that's
have
it.
someone literally yelling that in your face. Like, how do you handle that, right? But over time, I guess you just kind of manage that. Have you ever experienced something crazy like that? Or like
Mm,
hecklers and things like that?
yeah, I've experienced hecklers, but nothing to that extent, luckily.
Okay. Yeah.
I also feel like my content, my material isn't to that point where it could be that offensive or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing the
Different
edge too
styles.
much.
Yeah.
I
Different
mean, a little
styles for
bit
sure.
here and there, but like,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, it just hasn't happened to me yet. I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but
Right.
I'm ready for that time, because I know what I want. I know what I am, and I know who I am, and what kind of material I want to put out, and my purpose. And so that's all that matters. I know my truth. I know my intention. I know I'm not trying to hurt people, or
Yeah.
be ignorant about something, or whatever, or blatantly hateful or racist or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I need to do what I think is funny, either way, whether that is pushing the edge or talking about uncomfortable topics or taboo topics, whatever it is. That's the whole point of comedy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I realized with content actually this year, is like, no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone who has a problem with it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anything everything. No, even if you're the nicest, the cleanest person, like in terms of material,
Yeah.
someone's going to have a problem with it, whether they hate it or they think you're bad or disgusting or you ugly, like whatever. Like people will say anything they want. So once I realized that, it made it really liberating for me to just keep doing what I'm doing and not pay attention to people like that who think they know me or have an opinion on me or what they think is right or bad or good. Like it's not up to me to know what's good.
You can't
I can
control you can't control them either, right? Like
I can't control them. I can
as Gary said. Yeah, sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
man.
No, I literally as Gary says, he said you can't control quantity. You can't control quality. You can control quantity.
Mm.
And that means with content, putting out as much content as possible, videos, and letting the audience decide what's funny, what's not. And in stand up, it's just getting more repetition in and just getting on stage as much as possible. And eventually you'll get funnier by doing and trying new things. So it's as simple as that. And that's the mentality I've had mindset for so long, and it's helped me a lot. And
Yeah.
if hecklers come along during stand up, like I'll just what my method is to just talk to them like I'm just like a normal conversation. That's what's funny is like engaging and asking questions and just in the moment, really. Like you can't really pinpoint how to really deal with that. You just have to be in the moment and something funny might come to me in the time, or maybe I'll roast them or something like that, or
Yeah,
or I'd be like, yeah, you're right, yeah, or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. You
it
play
just
along with
depends.
them.
You play
Yeah, you
along
play
with it.
along with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every comedian has their own process with that. But
Yeah. One of my favorite things that Gary says, man, is as you were saying about good intentions, but the market will decide. And he goes on
yeah.
a funny ass rant. I'm sure you can imitate it. Of
Yeah.
the market doesn't care if you're fucking rich, you're poor, or
yeah.
you're a fucking alien.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, damn, like this guy's insane. Like
It's
I
so
love it.
funny.
The market doesn't give a fuck if you're an
yeah.
alien, and it's so true,
Yeah.
man. Like if an
It's so
alien makes a
true.
funny ass video, we laugh and we
We'd
cheer.
laugh. That's what I'm saying. We're like, we don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's funny.